Taped from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
John Trumbull, how are you, sir? We're recording this after the Christmas and but before the New Year's.
Yes.
How is the holiday treating you, good sir?
Oh, well, decently enough. Not horribly. How about you?
Same. Did okay. Spent time with the family, ate a lot, fell asleep early. Of course, the honored holiday tradition of watching Die Hard. Was,
nice.
As always. Yes, it's not Christmas. You see a barefoot man running around Nakatomi Plaza shooting up shit. That's how I celebrate. Yeah. Still holds up. Still, I would say definitely one of the best, if not the best, action movies ever. That thing is flawless, like a diamond. It is perfect.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a great movie. Holds up beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I might start watching you've seen The Apartment, right? The old.
The Apartment's a favorite of mine.
That's a great one too.
I've actually been going. I've had the last few days off of work, and the housemate's gone. He's off celebrating Christmas with his family, so I've been going on a streak of watching movies, and I've plopped in a couple Billy Wilder movies. I watched Sunset Boulevard on Christmas, and last night I watched one for the first time, 1, 2, 3, which stars Jimmy Cagney.
Oh, I think I knew about that one.
It was interesting. It's not it's not one of the top tier Billy Wilder films, but I picked it up recently because it was available for cheap. I was like, it's tough to go wrong with Billy Wilder. So yeah, I think I'm saving The Apartment for New Year's Eve though. I think that's becoming my new New Year's Eve movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I remember years ago, the wife and I just decided to watch it on a whim because Billy Wilder, we've heard of him. And I don't know if you look at the cover, the movie poster, the cover, you kind of think, oh, this is probably some zany comedy romp. And I mean, there is comedic aspects in it, but there are a lot more deeper themes in it than I thought. It's it deals with depression and self-worth.
It gets dark, man.
Yeah. It gets so dark. I was like, whoa, there's spoiler, I guess, but there's suicide gets mentioned in here. And I didn't expect it to be as dark as that, about loneliness and all these themes. I was like, wow, this is I was not expecting this, but we ended up really liking it, it being a lot more substantial, I guess, than we thought it'd be.
Yeah, Billy Wilder is just such a terrific filmmaker, and I mean, just this was the first time in a few years I've revisited Sunset Boulevard. That's still great. I love Some Like It Hot. Double Indemnity is probably the best film noir ever made. If you've never seen that.
I don't think I've seen that.
I highly recommend that. It's Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck and Edward G. Robinson, who's amazing in it. And The Fortune Cookie is great. That's the first movie where Jack Lemmon teamed up with Walter Matthau.
Oh, nice.
That's great. The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. That might be my favorite Sherlock Holmes movie. That's terrific stuff. Yeah.
Is there any SNL cast in that? Maybe we could do for the podcast.
No.
Oh.
No, unfortunately not. But
boo. Lauren, why weren't you in The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes?
Well, it was made in 1969, so it was 6 years before the show premiered.
Excuses, John.
Yeah, I know. But, very worth seeing. There are some worthwhile movies to see that don't have SNL people in them.
Yeah, that's true. But, speaking of, famous great filmmakers, we're going to do a little retrospective and pay respects to a great filmmaker that unfortunately, passed recently. That's the great Rob Reiner.
Yeah. That's a couple weeks ago now. I suppose most everybody listening to this knows what happened to Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. I don't think we need to rehash that, but
No.
just very sad. They were unfortunately taken from us.
Yeah.
And but it's been great to see all the outpouring of love for them and for Rob Reiner's filmography in particular.
Yeah, because we've talked about a great deal of his movies on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, The Princess Bride, we've talked about, like one of
Right.
his crown jewels. When Harry Met Sally, another, favorite of everyone. And of course, both the Spinal Tap movies, the first one and the recent sequel that came out, The End
Yeah.
Continues.
Yep.
And and like again, if you look at his filmography, he did all those films. He did, Stand by Me and Misery, The American President, like all these films in different genres. But like
Mm-hmm.
he just knocked it out the park with
I mean,
all of them.
kind of similar to Billy Wilder in that way. Billy Wilder like did films in different genres, and Rob Reiner had a run that was kind of like that, where
Yeah,
it was just like, yeah, I'm going to do one of the definitive romantic comedies. I'm going to do one of the all-time great horror suspense movies. I'm going to do a great courtroom drama, and I'm going to do like probably the definitive mockumentary.
yeah, it's pretty incredible when you think of it, like everything he was able to do.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we covered a number of those movies on our podcast. So of
Yeah,
course, when this news hit, we were like, well, how do we pay our respects to such a
yeah,
great man? But we've already kind of did all of the SNL connected movies that he's done, and then I think
yeah.
this was your idea. You had this great idea to talk about this documentary that came out in 2023 on HBO Max, where Rob interviews his high school childhood friend, who's another
Mhm.
comedic legend, the great Albert Brooks.
Yeah, this was like the two of them met in high school, and they've been best friends ever since. They say like early on in the film that yeah, that they've been friends for like 60 odd years.
Yeah,
So
I liked how because they talk about how they like you said, they met in high school. They were in a drama class, and then they mentioned how like there were like a lot of other kids in there who were kids of famous people. Like
mhm,
they were in the same drama class as Lee Cobb's daughter and Groucho Marx's daughter, Joey
right,
Bishop's son, and Richard
yeah,
Dreyfuss was in the class with them too. That's insane.
yeah, yeah.
Like Dreyfuss is with you? Holy moly!
Well, I mean, I'm sure you have that situation a lot in just in the Hollywood area. You have a lot of I mentioned this guy before. I think I might have mentioned him on last week's podcast. Mark Evanier, who's a writer who lives in Los Angeles, and he went to, I think it's like Hollywood High School, and
Yeah.
yeah, he went to with like a lot of famous people or famous people's kids. So yeah, I think it's just kind of a common thing in LA.
I think so. I think I gotta look it up. But I vaguely remember, oh yeah, all right. This I'm looking it up now. Yeah, so like
Okay.
Maya Rudolph went to high school with Jack Black. They were in the same high school class together.
I remember. I don't know why this lodged into my brain. Cameron Diaz went to high school with Snoop Dogg. She's like said
What?
in interviews. I think I might have bought weed from Snoop Dogg in high school.
What? Might have.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
she's
crazy.
not certain,
Yeah,
but she thinks it's likely.
there's some lanky African American gentleman. It might
Yeah.
have been Snoop. Yeah, there's that. I mean, not in L.A., but there's the famous story about how Neil Diamond and Barbara Streisand were in the same high school in Brooklyn years ago. But like, I
Neil
think
Diamond and who?
Barbara Streisand.
Oh, okay. I just didn't hear you.
Okay, but yeah, like I don't think they say they didn't know it. They knew of each other, but didn't like know each other.
Got it.
But
Right.
like and of course, and they did that "You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore" song that like somebody spliced the two of them singing together to make this huge hit. And it's like, oh yeah, like they got it sounded good.
That's yeah. That's kind of wild.
Kind of wild, kind of
and
wild.
I liked like a lot of the framework of this movie is just the two of them. They're just like sitting in a restaurant. I guess they just had dinner together, and they're just talking about Albert Brooks's life, and also they start out talking about their friendship. And um, Albert Brooks says that when he first met Rob Reiner, he didn't hear Rob Reiner's last name. He just knew him as Rob, and and so one of the early things he said to him was, "I've met Carl Reiner," and Rob Reiner was like, "Yeah, he's my dad."
Okay. All right.
Well, probably not terribly impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Carl Reiner too.
Yeah. I have dinner with him every night.
Yes. He gave me his DNA. I'm part of it. But yeah. I also like a lot of the talking heads they have throughout this doc, like Chris Rock.
Impressive number of people are speaking about how great Albert Brooks is.
Yeah, Chris Rock saying he's one of the most original thinkers we've ever seen. Jon Stewart saying, yeah, he was like the first alt comic, if you really think about it. Sharon Stone saying, oh, he's like the caviar of comedy. There's not a shortage of people speaking Albert Brooks's praise. I feel like Albert, I don't know if, I feel like Albert Brooks is one of those people that like comedy nerds like us know, but I don't know if like the average Joe on the street really knows him. Like if you said Albert Brooks, you'd be like, oh yeah, the guy that does the voice of Finding Nemo. It's like, motherfucker,
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, that's probably his most mainstream role. Also, like if you're a Simpsons fan,
he did
several voices on The Simpsons. He was probably best known as Hank Scorpio, who was Homer's boss in when they moved to a new town, and we kind of gradually over the course of the episode find out that Homer's new boss is like a Bond villain, basically.
Yes, I remember that.
He's like blackmailing, extorting money from the U.S. government, like he's threatening them with a laser or something like that. It's hilarious. It's one of the all-time great Simpsons episodes.
Yeah, I think I remember them saying, yeah, like once like Albert Brooks was in the writer's room with the Simpsons writer. The Simpsons writer just basically kind of didn't care whatever they came up with. They just were hyper-focused on Albert and whatever his ideas were, because they just knew that his ideas would be better and he would be able to take the show in a different place.
And they also talk about, like, because Albert Brooks also has a background in stand-up comedy, and they talk about how he would go on these various variety shows in the 70s, and there were a lot more in the 1970s than there are today. He would just go on and do a routine that he had never done before. He'd just come up with that afternoon, that is amazing. Just the guts it takes to do that, the confidence, and my God.
And they were all kind of conceptual. Like there was this one he did, like I don't know, it really impressed me. Where like I think like they interviewed Larry David, and he talked about how the first time he knew about Albert Brooks was he saw him on the Tonight Show, and Albert Brooks sets it up where he's like, yeah, I filmed this movie called The History of the Animal Kingdom in under 2 minutes. I put all my money into it, personal money, but like the film's not here. It got mixed up in shipping or something like that. So I'm going to try to act it all out with like these props I have backstage. So, and like he does this thing where he quickly flips through like this animal magazine.
Yeah, picture book.
This picture book. And then he just runs back and pulled out props from the back. And while, I don't know what song was playing.
But he runs backstage and comes out with like a sheepdog in his arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious.
And I was like, this is insane. Like, and I think even Johnny Carson like encouraged him not to be too rehearsed, because he's like, no, I want to be surprised at what you come out with. So like, I don't want to see what you do in like, rehearsal or anything like that.
Yeah. He had another routine that was, I believe he did this on the Flip Wilson show, where he does a ventriloquist act.
Yes.
But he's just subverting it. And he at one point just drops the dummy on the stage. The dummy is just lying there, just flat on the ground. He's just like, he just totally kills the illusion. And he's like, oh, and I'm going to have my dummy drink water and I'm going to sing. And he's lifting a glass of water into the dummy's mouth, and you see the water leaking out the back of the dummy's head. Yeah. Oh, it's so damn funny.
Yeah. And there was that. I mean, there was the one where he comes out as a mime, but he's a mime who like talks throughout his whole act.
And is explaining everything he's doing. He's like, now see, I'm pulling on a rope, but I'm not actually.
Yeah, and then it like devolves into like hacky Borscht Belt jokes like "Take my wife, please," while he's in his mime makeup.
Just great stuff.
Yeah, it really is interesting. Like if you look at what all the other stand-up comics were doing at the time, yeah, it is. It
Hmm.
definitely is really different. Like he's like kind of playing with the idea of what comedy is and what it can
Hmm.
be, and subverting expectations in a way that like I don't think a lot of people really saw until then. I mean, maybe like Ernie Kovacs or something like that you can talk to, but like as far as stand-up goes, it was like, oh wow, no, he's really kind of messing with the formula in a way that's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's still funny to a mainstream audience too. It's
Yeah,
uh, yeah, he's not just a comics comic.
right,
Um,
right. Yeah, like there's that one act he had with he said he invented the electric dummy for like a
mhm.
ventriloquist who don't want to like learn how to throw their voice, and he
Oh
pulls
yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
He pulls that. It's just like an old school speak and spell.
Yes, and he's put like a smiley face on the back of it, and
Yes,
he's asking it questions, and
it's like where you are. TV. Yes, right. You are on TV. That's right.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, you just had a date this weekend. What did she give you? VD.
That's that's pretty fucking
Yeah,
brilliant, actually.
yeah, yeah.
It's really great. And I think we see that Albert has always been this this genius. I mean, Carl Reiner, Rob's dad, is on record as saying like, yeah, he's like one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. Like I think he
Oh
said
yeah,
that on
he said,
Carson.
like Carl Reiner said on the Tonight Show, he's like, oh yeah, the funniest person in America is this 16-year-old named Albert Einstein. Because Albert Brooks's real name is Albert Einstein. He understandably changed that
Yeah,
for the show business.
yeah. Well, again, like that's a wild thing to do. Like you have
Right.
your parents, like your last name is Einstein. Why would you name your kid Albert Einstein? That is
Yeah,
just.
yeah,
But I mean, like if you look in the yearbook, they showed the yearbook picture. He went by Al Einstein. And
yeah.
that's
Well, I mean, that's still bad. I
yeah,
mean,
it ain't great.
yeah,
It
and
ain't
and
great.
he's like kind of good natured about it. He talks about it with Rob Reiner, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I mean, it was awful when I was a kid because there are all the jokes. Now it's just sort of an interesting footnote, um,
Right.
and I don't really have a complex about it. But
But yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah, he turned out all right. And I think we also
yeah,
learned how how he kind of learned about how he learned his appreciation and love for comedy through his father, who was a like a Borscht Belt kind of Catskills comedian who did movies and stuff, and who unfortunately passed away. His dad went by the name Park Yakarkis. That
hmm,
was his name, and I don't. The story about him, how his dad passed away, is wild.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
such an insane.
He did a roast for the Friars Club. He finishes his set, and then he goes back to the table, and he just passes away at the table. He just like puts his head down and passes away. And then like after they realize what happened, they stop the show for I think about 20 minutes. And there was this one musician. I didn't write down the name of the musician.
Tony Martin.
Okay, Tony Martin, who had this big hit record at the time, and they're like, you should go out there and just do your big hit to um, to entertain the audience, or to while we take care of all this. And he
Mm.
goes, and his big hit at the time was "There's No Tomorrow."
Wow, that was yeah.
So he's like, yeah, maybe it's not the best idea to
Maybe don't
perform
do
this
that.
song right now. Yeah,
Seem like Camptown Races or something. Uh,
nuts.
but yeah, it was wild. It kind of reminded me of, like the wrestler or something, because yeah, his dad was ill for a good number of time, and like he actually that kind of caused him to retire from doing comedy and films, and like he kind of came back for this one time show. And like they were in Friars Club, they were letting in Lucy and Desi, and of course, it's like the first time they ever let a woman into the Friars Club. And yeah, apparently he killed on this show, and like he did so well, and he went out on top, and yeah, just sat right back down and passed away. That is wow. That's so crazy eerie to me. It's so wild, and like and then also went to the mausoleum where his dad was buried, and he's buried right next to one of the original Three Stooges. He's buried next to Shemp.
Yes, yes, that that was something else. Yeah.
It really was. And then they also talk about his mother too, Al Brooks's mother, like his relationship with her, and we find out like she was a singer, and she was in movies, and like she met his dad on a movie set, and then they
Mm-hmm.
got together, and then she kind of stops. She stopped singing and focused on
Yeah,
being a mother, and
because
being a
that's
housewife.
just, I guess, just what you did then.
Yeah,
If you were a woman, you were expected to give up your career to be a wife and a mother and raise the kids and take care of the household, and that was just what was done.
that's what was done. And yeah, and then they actually got into it a little bit deeper too. Like, I mean, his mother now, before has also passed. She lived till 94. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like he even gets into it. Like, yeah, like there was times when I would bring up all these things I was doing, and she would say, "Oh, that's good for you," and she was happy for me. But yeah, like you could
Yeah.
tell, like my mom was a human being, like any human being, and yeah, there is those little things of envy and jealousy, like what I could have done if I didn't have these
Yeah,
kids,
and
and
like he talks about how Albert Brooks was on the Tonight Show something like 30 times, and he'd call her afterwards, and he'd be like, "Oh, what'd you think?" And she'd be like, "Oh, well, what did Johnny think?" And it was like,
uh,
"Oh, I can like it if Johnny liked it,"
oh, mom,
and yeah, apparently there was never like yeah, she never really openly expressed it, but there was a bit of maybe resentment or disappointment or something that her career wasn't able to go further than it did. And Albert Brooks put some of that into his movie Mother with Debbie Reynolds. That's one of the Albert Brooks movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen that one before. But
I think I feel like I saw it like years ago. I might have seen it from my college newspaper because I know they came out like in like
mhm.
the late '90s. So
Yeah.
I feel like I saw it. I'm pretty sure I liked it, but like I don't know. I'd have to maybe if I go back and watch it again, like with
Yeah.
with newer eyes, I'll be like, oh, this was deeper than I thought.
Yeah,
It
I
was.
went back to kind of prepare for this doc. I went back and I watched or rewatched some Albert Brooks movies because I was like, I'm not as familiar with his like the movies he's written and directed
Uh,
as I should be. So I went
yeah,
and watched
his
about
yeah
four of them.
his oeuvre.
His oeuvre, yes, if we want to get pretentious and French about it.
Oh, we do.
Um, we do. Um,
All right, yeah. So what movie did you see of his?
I watched like his first four directorial day projects. Real Life, which was like a mockumentary he did. This was in 1979. He plays a documentary filmmaker named Albert Brooks, which already that's great and ballsy because he's not presenting himself in the best light. Um, and it's like one of the first reality TV shows was a thing called The American Family, where they followed a family called the Louds around for like a specified period of time,
Mm,
and it ended up being like very dramatic. This was on like PBS, I think it was,
right.
and it ended up being very dramatic. Like I think the wife lets the husband know over the course of this that she wants a divorce.
Oh.
I think one of the sons comes out. He like I don't know if he
Oh.
realizes he's gay, but he comes out to his parents during this. So it ended up very dramatic, and so like a few years after this, Albert Brooks is parodying this,
Mm.
and he's got Charles Grodin in there as the father, and he's like a veterinarian. There's a great scene where he's operating on a horse, and he's so nervous that he ends up killing the horse.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's
And
right.
Albert Brooks like then convinces him like, "Oh no, you should let us use the footage in the documentary." And
It's like I killed a horse. You can't use that.
yeah, it's nuts. It's wild. It's uncomfortable. Like if you like the uncomfortable sort of humor of like something like The Office, I
Mm.
think you would enjoy Real Life or Albert Brooks's films in general.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that years ago, and that movie actually ended up being pretty prophetic,
Hmm.
because it is a thing where like he's just filming this family, but because it is show business, and
Yeah.
because they want to see like a return on their investment. He
Yeah.
kind of is like, oh, I need to do something or interject here to make this story more exciting, to make it more
Yes.
real, which is like what they do now in reality TV shows all the time, where they try to, mess with reality to make it more exciting, make it pop more
Yeah.
for the audiences. And but
Yeah.
yeah,
And he's doing this in 1979, basically about how reality TV can't help but be compromised
yeah,
because it's always going to be affected by the fact that you are recording it, and they're always going to try and goose it up to make it more exciting or salacious or whatever.
yeah,
And
that movie really opened up my eyes to like what
so
reality
pathetic.
TV.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I can't look at any reality show now without thinking that this is real life. This is
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really I can't recommend real life highly enough, folks.
Yeah.
Watch,
Yeah. It's
okay, but what else did you see? What are the other movies?
I watched Modern Romance,
Mm,
which was also really interesting. That's about, like, in the opening scene, Albert Brooks, he's not playing himself anymore, but he kind of is, I guess.
yeah,
He like breaks up with his girlfriend, and then the rest of the movie, we just see him just kind of spiral because he's just going nuts with jealousy, and like they get back together, they break up again, and it's so messy, and it's just like his own neuroses screwing everything up.
right. Like that's the one where like the head of Columbia wanted him to put in a therapist scene to like explain his behavior, but
Right? Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, we don't understand. He's like with this attractive woman. He drives a nice car. What's his problem?"
yeah, yeah, life's all right. But I
Yeah,
don't know. But I think he kind of put his foot down. It's like no, like the people that get it will get it.
yeah, and
Like I
that
said.
was I was like, "Oh, this is like a Woody Allen movie, but if the director realizes what a shit he's playing."
I was gonna mention Woody Allen, like how his humor is sort of Woody Allen esque, but it's not
Yeah,
quite. It's definitely different.
but he's not as forgiving of himself as Woody Allen is, I will say.
Yes, exactly, and that's why
you
that's
know,
why we like him more.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I remember with Modern Romance, them saying like how Stanley Kubrick called him and said how great a
Mhm.
movie it was, which is like I didn't. That's like the highest of compliments you could call
Yeah, he said,
him
like, I always wanted to do a movie about jealousy,
too.
and like, how did you do this? And Albert Brooks is like, well, you tell me how you had the person walking upside down in 2001, and we'll
Mm.
talk.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I always forget Stanley Kubrick is an American. I don't know why. I always think he's from the UK or something.
Well, like, he lived in Britain for, I don't know, the last half of his life or something. Apparently, he didn't like to fly,
Oh,
so
so it's
like
just
like
like I'll live here in the UK instead of go back.
yeah, I don't know why he decided he liked living in the UK better, but I know The Shining was shot in the UK, and I
Mm.
know Eyes Wide Shut was shot in the UK, even though it takes place in New York City. So they just like reconstructed New York City streets on a soundstage in the UK.
Instead of him just going back home to New York, he's just like,
Yeah,
no, this is. Can we turn this Piccadilly Square into Manhattan, please?
yeah, dude didn't like to fly, so
Interesting. All right.
yeah, wild,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Fair enough.
Um, and let's see, I watched
Did you Lost in America?
Lost in America. I revisited that, and oh my god, that film is so. That was probably my favorite out of the bunch.
Oh wow, I gotta watch
Um,
that one again.
yeah,
In a
that
minute.
was. I think I'd seen that one before, but it as well. It's a couple who, when Albert Brooks's character, he unexpectedly loses his job. He talks his wife, played by Julie Haggerty, into, oh, we should just cash out. We should sell our house and all our assets and stuff, and just take our nest egg, and we'll buy a Winnebago, and then we'll just travel the country, and we'll just drop out of society like Easy Rider.
Mm.
And but they're just like these two suburbanites who have no clue how to do that.
Nice.
And they go to Las Vegas, like they're planning to like renew their vows in Las Vegas, but then his wife ends up losing all their money at the roulette table,
As you do.
and they just and things get worse from there, and it's so funny. And again, if you like cringe comedy, it's excellent.
Yeah, there's that scene where he's trying to convince the I guess the head of the casino, played by Gary Marshall, to like,
Yeah.
oh, you should just give us all our money back. Just think of the PR that would be, how great that would
Yeah.
be. You're like, oh, this is the casino that gives you back your money after you lose it. People will definitely come here for that.
Right.
And Gary Marshall's like, no, that's not the whole point of a casino, to give back the
That's
money.
not what we do. That's yeah.
That's not our thing, man.
It's wild. It's so funny, and yeah, and then we see them like, oh, we have to go get jobs, and there's a great scene where Albert Brooks, they're in like this small town because they can't even really afford to fill up the Winnebago with gas.
Oh
So
man.
they're just like, they just pick a small town and they're like, let's go get jobs. And he goes into like this employment agency, and he's like explaining to the guy, oh yeah, my last job, I worked for this advertising agency for 8 years, one of the biggest advertising agencies. I made about 100K a year. um, what do you have anything like that? And he's like, no, I have a crossing guard for 550 an hour.
Oh god.
And we see a brief scene of Albert Brooks working as a crossing guard. It's very, very funny. Yeah.
Very funny. Yeah, it's a good one. I haven't seen that one in a minute. I should go back and watch that too.
Yeah, yeah. And I watched Defending Your Life for the first
Ooh,
time.
thoughts on that?
That was interesting. I don't think that was one of my favorites. I got, maybe a little repetitive for me. Maybe it'll grow on me with subsequent watches or
Okay.
something. But
Yeah, I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson loved it. Said it's the most insightful film he's ever seen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, what, you don't like a film that Neil deGrasse Tyson raves about, sir?
I'm not saying I disliked it. I did like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it as much as the other ones, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. Look at me
So,
trying to start
yeah,
a fight.
Yeah, that's one where Albert Brooks unexpectedly dies. He goes to, it's not heaven, but it's like sort of a way station on the way to heaven, where
Right.
they're deciding if he moves on to the afterlife or if he has to go back and be reincarnated,
Mm.
try again. And
Yeah.
they watch days of his life and determine like how courageous he was.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if he's worthy of going to the next step, the next level.
right.
And I don't know, I like the concept. I thought the concept was really interesting.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Meryl Streep is in it, and
Hmm.
she does a great job. I think he even says, "Oh yeah, I got her in the movie because she's friends with Carrie Fisher, and I'm friends with Carrie Fisher, and like we hung out at a party, and like I thought she would be too kind of too good, I guess, for the film, but like, and I saw how like kind of chill and down to earth she was, and like she was like, "Hey, is there a part in this movie for me?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, you should be in this movie."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Meryl Streep is great.
Yeah, yeah, they have a nice offbeat chemistry together. That was cool. And they also talked about some of his other acting roles where he's been in movies where he hasn't directed. Broadcast News, where he got an Oscar nomination.
Yes,
That's a favorite of mine. I just recently got the Criterion collection of that. That's
yeah, yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. I mean, the doc talks to James L. Brooks, and
Hmm.
mentioning the sweating bullets scene where he's just like straight up nervously sweats through all of his clothes during his first time behind the desk
Yeah,
reporting the news, which is, oof. I think he said he got the idea for that because they saw a guy on CNN just being this nervous flop sweating throughout the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah. He like Albert Brooks sees this on CNN at like midnight or 1 in the morning, and he like calls up Albert Brooks or James L. Brooks and says like, "Hey, I know what we're doing in this scene, and we got to have him flop sweat." And yeah, he literally like sweats through his shirt and his jacket.
It's rough.
Yeah,
It's like me in August. It's
yeah.
bad. Just like, oh God, I got.
So funny. And they talk about him doing the voice in Finding Nemo, and
Yeah.
he there's a great story where he takes his son to a screening. His son's about 4, so he gets that his dad's doing the voice of the character, but he doesn't quite get the pretend part of movies. And so he's
Mm.
really disturbed when the kid's mom is killed by the shark.
Yeah, understandable. That's
And Yeah.
Understandably
So
so. Yeah, and then they talk about other films. He was like, I forget he's in Taxi Driver. I
yeah,
that was
yeah. That was his film debut. He's a Taxi Driver.
his film debut is Taxi Driver.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Doing
Like,
scenes with Robert De Niro and Sybil Shepherd, and
that's insane. Like,
yeah,
that's the other thing about this doc. Like, you hear about all the people he knows throughout his life. Like, he knows Carrie Fisher. He dated Linda Ronstadt, which was like, whoa, son of a bitch. This guy
wild,
is.
right?
It's
Yeah.
wild. I mean, I don't know. I had a huge crush on Linda Ronstadt as a kid, so I was like, you lucky bastard, you motherfucker.
You got a little Albert Brooks envy. Yeah.
Forget about it. He was in the movie Drive with Bryan Cranston and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and they showed a clip of that where he's like playing this real villainous role. I haven't watched Drive. I haven't gotten around to seeing that yet, and I was like, shit, I got to see Drive. That looks amazing.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work in this film. He's dark and dangerous in a way you would not expect to be.
That sounds so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Like, of course, there's his SNL connection where he talked to, when SNL was just getting off the ground, and he talked to Lorne and Dick Ebersol about, wanting to do the show. And he's the one credited as giving them the idea to have revolving hosts on the show.
Yeah, apparently they wanted Albert Brooks to be the regular host, and he's like, oh, well, every show does that. You should just have rotating hosts. And has anybody else from the show confirmed that or done that? Because I think I've only heard that story from Albert Brooks.
I gotta read the book again, the Life from New York book. I remember them mentioning this. I don't know if anybody else confirmed it, but yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it's been ages since I've read that book too, so I gotta pull out my copy and revisit that. So
yeah, but I mean, I would think if somebody, if this wasn't true, somebody would be like, no, that's not true. He bullshit, and then they would like debunk it. But no one has. So I'm just taking it as fact, as that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do I know then?
Yeah, and Albert Brooks did that. He did all these short films from L.A. and had them air on the on Saturday Night Live at the time.
NBC's Saturday Night.
NBC Saturday Night, yes, before.
It was known at the time, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Albert Brooks just used to hang out with Steven Spielberg and, like, interview people on the street.
That was wild. He was like, yeah, we would just go out. Steven Spielberg was like, yeah, I had my Super 8 camera, and we would just go out and interact with strangers. Albert Brooks would interview people when they were stopped at stoplights.
Yeah. It's almost like Billy on the Street, or like as they say in the film, Sacha Baron Cohen type of thing, like
just doing that sort of found comedy thing where he's just I
was like, wow, look at this guy, this fucking guy,
nuts.
This guy. They talk about his comedy album, A Star Is Bought, that he made with Harry Shearer from The Simpsons. And like, I guess the concept behind that was that they would make a cut of the album for every radio station, so it would appeal to everyone, which is a pretty interesting concept.
And then he says like, oh, and then I made the mistake of not touring to promote the album because the album just kind of bombed, and after a month it was like down at the bottom of the charts. It's like number 200 or something on the Billboard charts, and he's like, so that was a big mistake that I made.
I should have promoted this.
Yeah, and he also talks about like how I think he's talking about Real Life. And he was saying that the studio wanted to premiere it in like out of the way markets like Honolulu or something like that. And he's like, no, you need to release it in these big markets like New York so the critics can get behind it. And he's like, and I'm so glad that I fought that battle, because my career I would have a whole different career if I didn't get the critical notices that I got for Real Life.
Yeah, like Honolulu. Why would wow.
I mean that's just kind of like a vote of no confidence.
I guess so. Yeah, it does seem like throughout a lot of his career, especially with his films, he's had to fight a lot just to sort of get it out there and make sure it got on the.
Yeah. I mean, towards the end of the film, he says he was like speaking to one of his agents or one of his people, and they're like, Albert, I don't understand why you always take the hard road. And he's like, you think I see two roads? This is the only way I know how to do it.
Like, if there was an easier road, I would happily take it.
Yeah,
I'd
he's
build
like,
a house on that road.
I don't know how to do a more mainstream way of doing it. And I mean, that's, very self aware.
Yeah, I respect that. Like, I'm sure, like, if he wanted to, he could do like I guess maybe a more watered down, crowd
Uh-huh.
pleasy, more palatable version of what he does, for the masses. But he's like, no, like I have this vision, and I
Yeah.
want to do it this way, and like I know it's going to be a harder, road to go down for it to make this vision, come to fruition. But it's the only way I know how to do it. So I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
I respect that.
he's just so creative. He just can't help but do things that are off the beaten path. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, I just like and I just love seeing Rob Reiner talk to him, just like because like they've known each other for so long. There's that rapport where they're just old friends, kind of reminiscing and talking.
Hmm.
Talking about like a lot of his other dramatic roles, Concussion and The Most Violent Year. This is 40. I forgot he was in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm that I really
Yeah.
liked a bit about, where all of his friends come to his house, and like they open one closet, they find out he's a COVID hoarder.
Yeah.
Like he has like tons and tons of Purell and face mask in there, and they all
Right.
like berating him because he's a COVID hoarder, and he's like, no, it was all there when I moved in. This used to be a CVS. So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was like, that's a pretty damn funny line.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, that's really funny. And yeah, just, yeah. So, I mean, such a career he's had. It's pretty incredible.
It
Um,
really is. It really is. Like, I mean, of course, like he doesn't seem to do too many films, lately. I think the last one he did, which I remember coming out, like Looking for Comedy in the Muslim World,
hmm.
where like the concept was, going to India and, finding humor within the Muslim people. And like it was at a time where like saying the word Muslim was like kind of tricky and dicey, but he wanted to
Yeah,
sort
this
of.
was like 2005, so there's still like a lot of anti-Muslim sentiment in the air. I mean, not like now where everything's a-okay. Um,
Yeah. Uh,
but
but yeah, everything's so much better. We've learned all the right lessons, and life
yep,
is thriving.
we're not
Every
going to make those mistakes again.
no, sir,
Yeah,
we won't get fooled again.
I mean, yeah, I still haven't seen Looking for Comedy in the Muslim World. So
Yeah,
have you seen that one?
I have not. And I mean, I
Yeah.
remember there being a lot of controversy behind it, like how Sony said they couldn't release it because it came after the whole Danish cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say incident, tragedy, I guess I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
and like how the studio dropped the film because of that, and like then they had to go to Warner Independent to put it out, and it premiered at the Dubai Film Festival. To I think mixed results. I think
Yeah.
ultimately, I don't know. I don't think the reviews were that great, but I think overall, I think it did okay-ish, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. But yeah, like he's still a brilliant guy. I mean, he came out with that book, 2030, a few years ago, about like what happens to America and how all young people are going to try to kill all the old people, things like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's still. I wish he would make a movie again, like another movie or something.
Yeah, I mean it's literally been 20 years since he's directed a movie. I don't know if he has the drive to do that anymore. But yeah, it would be nice to see him do that. But
It would be. It would be. Like
yeah,
yeah, like I'd have to go back and watch his stuff. Like I remember Defending Your Life being a real like eye-opening film for me, where it's like, oh wow, this
hmm,
guy is like on another level, and real life as well. But like
hmm.
I need to see things like modern
Any
romance
movie he
again.
does with the word "life" in the title, you like.
Yes, all the life movies, Defending Your
Hmm.
Life, Real Life, Life,
Hmm.
Life Serial. But
Yep.
I mean, there's other movies he did too, like The Muse, the one with Sharon Stone, the
Hmm.
one that has cameos with James Cameron pops up in it, and Scorsese.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scorsese doing a pretty funny impression, a heightened Scorsese-esque impression of himself in
I
in
like
the
when
movie.
Scorsese parodies himself. That's
Yeah,
pretty fun. Did you
yeah,
did you see him on the studio this
yes,
year?
yes.
Yeah,
It, it,
that's pretty funny.
yeah, it's like he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's like, all right, I know how people perceive me, how I may come
Hmm.
off, so let me have some fun with it and lean into it, and just kind of play into the stereotype of people, what people think I am. It's almost like a Christopher Walken thing or a Jeff Goldblum thing, where they're like, all right, I
Hmm.
know I have this persona people, have kind of stuck me with, so let me play in it and lean into it and just have a good sense of humor about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and of course, Rob Reiner pops into that film as well in The Muse.
Yes, yes.
Because like the Muse, I think Albert. Well, for those that haven't seen the Muse, Albert Brooks plays like a filmmaker or a writer who's kind of hit a wall creatively, and then he talks to Jeff Bridges, who's also in his film, and he said like, "Oh, you should talk to this person who's a muse, a professional muse. Like Rob Reiner uses her." He's like, "Rob Reiner, really?" So
Hmm.
Rob Reiner plays like a fictionalized version of himself in his film, and
Yeah.
it's all about the filmmaking world and creativity and things like that. So
Yes.
I've heard the music again. That's another movie I haven't seen, but I heard it's pretty good.
I haven't seen it either. They show a couple clips of it, and it looks like it's amusing. I was
Heyo!
what's that?
You said amusing. I see what you did.
Oh, yeah,
Did
no,
you not mean to do that?
no, totally unintentional pun.
Wow, you're good. You're good, sir. Make it.
Okay, but they like at the very beginning of this documentary, it was like there's that notification, and at the beginning they say like brief nudity, and I'm like, there's nudity in this.
Yeah, there it is.
You don't expect to find nudity in a documentary about a filmmaker, but yeah, they show a quick clip of the news where like Sharon Stone takes her robe off and she's naked briefly, and I was like, oh, okay, oh, that's why that warning's in there. Okay.
Gotcha.
I was like, okay, all right.
Heyo. Uh, but yeah, I mean Albert Brooks. I mean, wow, what a life. He's one of these.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of once in a lifetime talent. I don't like. I can't think of anybody out there right now who's kind of operating on maybe Bo Burnham, maybe, but like the
I
way
mean,
his
yeah, we can look at people who are influenced by Albert Brooks, but yeah, I
yes,
don't know if there's anybody you can point to and be like, oh yeah, this person is doing what Albert Brooks is doing because he's such a one of a kind voice. So
yeah, like the way his mind works and the way he thinks and the way he's able to kind of attack things like stand-up comedy and
mhm.
movies and like all these themes. It's like, yeah, I don't know too many people now that are doing something similar to that. I mean, he really is one in a million.
Yeah, yeah, that's something, and it's something that his friend put this together for him.
Mm,
That's really cool, and it's a nice, it's a worthy addition to Robert Reiner's great filmography, I think.
absolutely, yeah. Like when we first started watching it, on like I did notice that they put a title card in the beginning of it, like in remembrance of Rob
Yes,
Reiner and Michelle.
yeah,
I was like, wow, yeah, that's it's still hard. It still hurts hearts. It still hurts. It's still heartbreaking. But
yeah. No,
yeah,
it's just, I mean, such an awful way to go. Not what they deserve, certainly, and just it's just a shame because I mean, even though he was, I think like 79, something like that, it still feels like he had more to do. He had more to say, and
yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, have we talked about what our favorite Rob Reiner works are? Like famous?
Not really. No, I think we should.
Okay, hit me.
I mean, he has a pretty much unparalleled run from like the 80s into the early 90s.
Yeah.
Um, we got you got Spinal Tap, The Sure Thing, Stand by Me. What's next? Um,
Let me look it up. Is it?
yeah, yeah. When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men. Oh, Princess Bride. I'm
Oh,
blanking on Princess Bride.
oh, Few Good Men. Damn, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, they're all
And The American President, that's another great one. That's
that I haven't seen. I don't think I've ever saw that one. And
oh
you
yeah,
mentioned how good it
American
was.
President, definitely worth seeing. Also written by Aaron Sorkin. It's
Ooh,
like we might not have The West Wing if it wasn't for The American President, because like Aaron Sorkin did a lot of research into The American President, and like I think some of the deleted scenes ended up making their way into The West Wing somehow. He just did a lot of research into how the White House operated, and he eventually ended up doing making a TV show out of it. So,
oh wow. Okay.
and Martin Sheen's in it too. He plays the chief of staff.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I will have to check
yeah,
that out. The
killer
American
cast. I mean,
President.
Michael Douglas, Annette Bening, Michael J. Fox is in it. Samantha Mathis is in it. Richard Dreyfuss is in it.
Ooh. Oh, it's old schoolmate.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess I gotta watch that. Yeah, I'm looking through his oeuvre right
Yeah,
now, and yeah, I mean, there's stuff he did like later in the years, like what rumor has it, the bucket list, of course,
yeah. Haven't seen
uh,
those. Yeah.
Story of Us, Ghost of Mississippi, but yeah, like it seems like his streak kind of is in the 80s and 90s, and yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
All of these are real. If I can't choose a favorite
Just
between
banger
all of
after
them.
banger, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard to pick one. I think probably my favorite would be Spinal Tap. I think
hmm,
um, that's probably the one I've rewatched the most and the one that amuses me the most. But Princess Bride is also great. I own that one. A Few Good Men is amazing. When Harry
yeah,
Met Sally, we both waxed rhapsodic about that movie when we did it on here.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I haven't seen Misery in a while, so I can't really
I
speak to that.
rewatched Misery like a year or two back. It's still pretty great.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
That's
mean,
not one I'm going to break out a whole lot, but
yeah, I guess I'll say The Princess Bride for me. Like that's the most
Mhm.
rewatchable one. I think it's a perfect movie. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing. It's all fantastic acting, the story, the
yeah.
writing. Like
It's just such a charming movie.
yeah, it's just charming as hell. It always makes me smile. Like I see
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that movie at all. It's pretty damn perfect. So I'll say The Princess
Yeah.
Bride for me.
Okay, I think that's a great pick. That's a great pick.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
it's tough to go wrong with any Rob Reiner movies from that period.
No,
So,
absolutely. All right, but hey, what did you listeners think of Mr. Rob Reiner? We put the word out on the blue skies, and we got one response from our good friend
hmm
Shari, like Starry,
hmm
saying hello to two of my fave podcasters and SNL enthusiasts. Like many, I am heartbroken at the loss of a truly unique filmmaker. From his unforgettable performance on All in the Family to his transition behind the camera, we are fortunate he left behind so many cinematic gems to keep his memory alive.
yeah.
Yeah,
Geez, we didn't even talk about like he had a whole Rob Reiner had a whole career as an actor before his directorial career, and he did continue that on. But yeah, he's great in All in the Family. That's kind of one of the all time great sitcoms,
yeah,
and it's fun to see Rob Reiner pop up in things. I think the most recent thing I saw him in was Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
That's worth seeing. It's a long one. I think it's well over 2 hours. Scorsese doesn't really make short films
Yeah.
anymore. But
No, no. If you get a Scorsese film, you sit down. You're gonna you're in for the long
it's a
haul.
commitment. You're
Yes.
there for the afternoon.
Don't make plans.
But yeah, that's a great film. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill is in it. That was Margot Robbie's breakthrough role.
Mm.
Kristen Milioti is in it.
Oh,
Um,
well now.
yeah, it's it's a movie about a real scumfuck of a guy, but
You sold me on it. Sold.
it's fun watching him be really scummy.
Scumfuck, you say? I'm in.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Wow, all right. Wolf of Wall Street. I will check it out. So yeah, I
yeah.
guess That's about it. John, any final words about the great Albert Brooks or the late great Rob Reiner?
I mean, they're both incredible. I'm grateful that uh, Albert Brooks is still with us. There are
Mm,
a couple moments in here in the doc, because the doc came out in 2023 where Albert Brooks is talking about like sort of like the end of his life, and he's talking about like how he's gonna go before Rob Reiner, and you get
mm.
like sort of a twinge there because you're just like, oh, that's not what's in store for you, unfortunately. But
Yeah, like there was that one part where in the beginning of the doc where Rob
mm-hmm,
was like, "Yeah, like I think you're one of the funniest people I ever knew," and like when we were kids, I was kind of intimidated by you because like
mm-hmm,
how like almost seamlessly funny you were, and like
yeah,
I really look up to you. And then Albert's like, "Oh, it finally took all this for you to say something nice about me. Great."
yeah, it took all this time for me to get a compliment
And
from
it's like,
you.
yeah, it's like I can't wait to hear what you say at my funeral. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
oh no,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
no.
It's like, it's just such a shame. I mean, I've had some friends of long standing, and I've had like friends of long standing pass. Unfortunately, I haven't had anything like my friend of 60 years
Mm,
pass. That's
yeah, that's rough.
just got to be so sad. But yeah, I mean, watch Albert Brooks movies, watch Rob Reiner movies.
Yes.
Um, if you're interested in what we say about the Rob Reiner movies we've covered on the podcast, I looked up the episode numbers. We did When Harry Met Sally in episode 169 of the pod. We did This Is Spinal Tap on episode 197. We covered The Princess Bride on episode 225, and Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, just recently in episode 353. So just
Okay.
a little while back. So you can just look up. You can go on to non-productive.com, find them there. You can go on to the non-productive.com page on YouTube and look them up. Just do a search for SNL Nerds When Harry Met Sally or whatever, and you can find them that way. And yeah, check them out.
Check them out. And that's our episode, guys. Thanks for listening to the podcast. As always, you can follow us on the Blue Skies at SNL Nerds. You can donate to our Patreon, non-productive.com. And you can listen to this magical little podcast on the YouTubes, on our YouTube page,
Mm-hmm.
non-productive.com. And as always, you can follow me, myself, and I on all the socials at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
You can follow me on the socials at Trumbull Comic. That's TRUMBULL on the word comic. And yeah, check me out there. Check me out on the Blue Sky. Check me out on the Letterbox and all that stuff. So
And all that jazz.
yeah. So
So,
well, that's it for 2025. We did it. We finished.
hey, that's right. It's done and done. Pack it up, boys.
All right. Yeah.
We're out of here.
Are we going to continue on to the new year?
You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Double or nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So next episode, first episode of the new year. As tradition, I guess now we always do like a Sherlock Holmes episode.
It kind of has evolved into a tradition.
It really has.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for those that know, we did the Holmes and Watson movie, so you don't have to watch that. And we did the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes film, the Guy Ritchie one.
Yes.
And so for 2026, we're going to do the sequel of the Sherlock Holmes Robert Downey Jr. film, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows.
Yes, this is the sequel to that. They bring in Moriarty. We got Mycroft Holmes in there, Holmes's brother, and yeah, and we do this in January because January 6th is traditionally Sherlock Holmes's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we'll get into this. I have not seen this one since it was in the theaters.
Ooh.
I saw it in the theaters. I remember hating it. I have not revisited it since. So
All right.
It's interesting to see this again.
We start up the New Year's salty.
Yeah, we will. We will. Have you seen this before or no?
I don't remember. I don't think
Yeah.
I have. I don't think I
Okay.
have. So we'll see how this all turns out.
We'll see. I mean, we both liked the first one, as I recall, right?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's sort of like Sherlock Holmes is an action movie, so
yeah,
doing something a little different with it, and this is kind of continuing on in the same vein. So
yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah. So we'll see how that one holds up.
All right. Let's see.
Maybe I'll like it now.
Maybe. Will John like it or will he not? Tune in next week to find out.
I'll bet money he will not.
Place your bets. Go to DraftKings. Will John like this movie or will it be an absolute shit show?
That other thing. That second.
Nice.
All right, but that'll join us next week for Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows with Robert Downey Jr. And see what we think. But until then, nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.